You know, most Christians think that they have it all figured out, what's going to happen when they die, what the last days are going to be like, the return of Christ, and topics like that. And I'm no different. I thought I had all of those things down pat. In fact, when I originally read the early Christian writings, those weren't even questions in my mind. I thought, well, there's nothing more to learn about that. I know exactly what happens. And then when I read the early Christian writings, I was so surprised to learn that what I thought happens to us after we die is a little bit different than what the historic faith teaches. Now, it's not anything weird or anything like that, but it is different than what most of us have heard, and yet it's all right there in the Bible. The return of Christ and the judgment day, all of those things, quite a bit different than some of the thoughts I had in my mind. So we're going to be looking at those topics. We'll also look at the millennium, the rapture, the mark of the beast. For example, talking about the mark of the beast, did you know that the number of the beast is not 666? Something that all my life I've told people. And yet the early Christians, if you'd asked them, they would have not known what you were talking about. 666. And you know, the Greek of the New Testament says nothing about 666. That's a modern concept. So we'll be looking at that and some other surprises. For example, what did Paul teach about the rapture? How did the early Christians understand it? Will it be pre-trib or post-trib or mid-trib or none of those things? We'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at the question, will there be a literal millennium here on the earth? We're also going to look at Christ's descent into Hades. Now, if you'd mentioned that term to me before I read the early Christian writings, I wouldn't have known what you were talking about. And yet that was one of the fundamentals of the faith. It is included in the Apostles' Creed, which is just a short summary of the key doctrines of Christianity. So we'll look at what the New Testament teaches about that, what the historic faith teaches, and why it's important to us, because it does concern what happens to us after we die. Now, the purpose of this course isn't to give you a lot of dead theology. No, the ultimate aim in all of these messages is to draw you closer to Jesus Christ, to better understand the historic faith, and to challenge you to an obedient love relationship with our Lord and King, Jesus Christ.